हम बात करने वाले हैं कि लोगों से कनेक्ट कैसे करना है. हाउ डू यू रियली कनेक्ट टू पीपल. एंड इन टुडेज टॉपिक आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस विद यू सम इंस्टेंसेस, कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें जो हम कभी या तो नोइंगली नहीं करते या शायद हमें पता नहीं है कि उस समय क्या करना है. सो आई रियली वॉन्टेड टू गेट बेटर एट कनेक्टिंग विद पीपल. वी लिव इन अ नेटवर्क्ड वर्ल्ड. We know so many people, at least virtually. Yeah, there was a time when people knew more people as they were, but today, as the world we live in, we know more people virtually than possibly we know them in person. So we know a lot of people. That means that we really want to connect with a lot of people. That's what it shows. Most of you attending this session today would have humongous online or virtual networks across different social media platforms. So you all know how to connect with people virtually. But today, my endeavor would be to share some aspects with you as to how you really can connect to people in a physical setting, in person as well. So I am reminded of one of the incidences, a very recent incident, and I had gone for an offsite with an organization, about 25 people, and in an offsite you get those breaks, you get that tea break, you get a lunch break. So we all broke for lunch for about 45 minutes, and these 25 people were obviously occupying about 6-7 different tables, 3-4 people on a table, and they were all merrily having lunch. And now there was an opportunity for me. That was an opportunity for me. So I could have just sat down on a different table. All of them were strangers to me. I didn't know any of them. All of them were strangers. So I could have easily sat on a different table, and it would have given me some time to reflect upon what I had to do post lunch, given me time for all those mental aspects, right? Now, now I didn't do that. I actually went on to one specific table, and after having spent about 4-5 minutes on that table, in those 4-5 minutes I came to know about the other people who were around, who were sitting on that across on the table. And I actually spent that time in knowing those people better rather than having a sumptuous lunch. अब मैंने लोगों से कई बार बात करता हूँ, मैं लोगों को कहता हूँ, आप जब ऐसी सेटिंग में कभी भी जाते हैं तो लंच, क्या आपका फोकस लंच पर है या आपका फोकस उन सामने वाले लोगों पर है? हर रोज आप लोग अच्छा लंच करते हैं, अच्छा डिनर करते हैं, वो तो करते ही है ना. उस एक दिन भी क्या आपका फोकस लंच पर है? नहीं, मेरा फोकस तो लंच पे नहीं था. मैं उन 4 या 5 मिनट में उन लोगों को कुछ और बेहतर जानना पड़ता. दैट वाज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर मी टू नो दोज पीपल बेटर. So I spent about 4-5 minutes on that table, and then I moved on to the other table. I excused myself. I said, let me just spend some more time with the other people. I moved across onto the other table, then onto the other table. Believe me, by the time we were done with the lunch time, I had spoken to at least 18 to 20 of those people. One on one, I got an opportunity. I came to know so much about who they were, what really were their interests, how many years had they spent in the organization, what were they looking for in that training. I came to know so much about those people in that lunch break, which otherwise I would have actually lost the opportunity had I just sat across on a table and had my lunch. And it was a great five-star property, so obviously lunch was great. Everybody was relishing their lunch, but my focus was on those people. So I actually utilized that opportunity. मैंने वो समय इस्तेमाल किया उन लोगों से एक और कनेक्ट एस्टैब्लिश करने का. Connecting with people. I really looking out for those opportunities. मैं एक और बहुत recent incidents. Today is 27 January, so yesterday was 26 January. I stay in a residential complex. We have about 500 houses in this society, in this complex in Gurgaon. And we had the flag, not the flag hoisting, flag unfurling ceremony. I came to know about that slight difference yesterday. We have a flag hoisting ceremony on 15th of August, but a flag unfurling ceremony on 26th of January. तो कल फ्लैग अनफर्लिंग सेरेमनी थी सुबह, और इस बार थोड़ा सा कोरोना रिस्ट्रिक्शंस के कारण ज़्यादा अरेंजमेंट्स नहीं थे सोसाइटी में, ज़्यादा बड़ा इवेंट नहीं था. सो 15-20 मिनट का इवेंट था. उसके बाद थोड़ा चाय नाश्ता भी नहीं, चाय और थोड़ा सा लेट्स से मिठाई और कुछ स्नैक्स. अब ज़्यादातर लोग ऐसे इवेंट में क्या करेंगे? आप सोच के देखिए, आप में से कुछ लोग जो अभी मेरी आवाज़ सुन रहे हैं, ज़्यादातर लोग ऐसी जगह पर आकर क्या करते हैं, वो एक रिस्पेक्ट के लिए आते हैं। ऑब्वियसली इट्स अ प्राउड मोमेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस एज इंडियंस, वी शुड बी देयर व्हेन द फ्लैग इज बीइंग अनफर्ल्ड, बट so most of the people who came there, obviously because of corona you had to stand at distance. They paid their respect, paid their homages, and as soon as the event got over, about 15-20 minutes after the after tea was served, most people just started moving out. Now, again, that was an opportunity. So, I actually met a couple of people and we just exchanged our names and what do we do? So, you ought to be looking out for opportunities to meet people, to connect with people. आप में से कुछ लोग, एक बस और आपको इंसिडेंस दूंगा और उसके बाद आपको एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टडी मैं आज आपसे शेयर करने वाला हूँ। तो एक और इंसिडेंस, मतलब एक और ऐसी चीज़ जो आप सब लोग जिससे वाकिफ़ होंगे। हम सब लोग बहुत मैरिज पार्टीज अटेंड करते हैं, मैरिज सेरेमनीज अटेंड करते हैं। ज़्यादातर लोग उसमें क्या करते हैं? अब आप में से हो सकता है कुछ लोगों को अपनी कोई सेरेमनी याद आ जाए, अपनी मीन्स आपकी अपनी शादी नहीं, बट आपने ऐसा कोई इवेंट अटेंड किया। ज़्यादातर लोग अगर अपनी फैमिली के साथ वहाँ जा रहे हैं तो एक एक मोमेंट के बाद आप अपने ही छोटे से ग्रुप में कन्फाइन हो जाते हैं। You get confined to your groups, and again you're losing out an opportunity to interact with people or to know more people, to connect with more people. I told you I'll share a very interesting research, and this research was done in US, in the University of Kansas, and this was done many years back, but I believe the relevance still holds. So what was that research all about? So this research was done by a professor by the name of Angela Vance, the Bans, Angela Vance, and in University of Kansas. And the idea of this research was to find out actually what is the kind of people, what really is the kind of people like to hang around with. कैसे लोग हैं जिनके साथ लोग मिलना जुलना पसंद करते हैं? सो नॉर्मली हम समझते हैं कि अगर हम एक बड़े एक बड़ी जगह पर हैं जहाँ पे ज़्यादा लोग हैं, तो आप इंट्यूटिवली सोचेंगे कि लोग ज़्यादा घुलना मिलना चाहेंगे अलग अलग तरह के लोगों के साथ। So if you are in a university, this experiment was done in a university, and the same experiment, same research was repeated in some smaller colleges as well. So when you think about a smaller college versus a larger university, so what do you think intuitively? Would the crowd be more diverse in a larger place as compared to a smaller place which only has a few hundred students? It's a small college which only has a few hundred students versus a university which has thousands and thousands of students. Where do you really expect the crowd to be more diverse? Obviously, in a larger university. So, if the crowd is more diverse in a larger university, where do you feel are the chances of meeting people with more diverse backgrounds? अगर डाइवर्सिटी ज़्यादा बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी में है तो चांसेस क्या है आपको ज़्यादा डाइवर्स बैकग्राउंड लोगों से मिलने का? बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी, इसमें तो कोई गेसवर्क भी नहीं होना चाहिए। पर जो रिसर्च था यहाँ तक तो ठीक है, पर एक्चुअली जो लोगों के नेटवर्क्स होते हैं, जो लोग कनेक्ट करते हैं लोगों के साथ, वो क्या वाकई एक बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी में ज़्यादा डाइवर्स लोगों के साथ कनेक्ट करते हैं या ज़्यादा लोगों से कनेक्ट करते हैं कि नहीं? Now this was something which was counterintuitive. So when you are in a larger organization, you obviously have more people who are of your interest. So if you have a few thousand people, let's assume you have about 10,000 people, then if you have an interest in sociology, economics, any of these subjects, out of those 10,000 people, there's more likelihood of more people following your subject than in a college which only has a few hundred students. So ultimately, what Angela found out was that people tend to stick on to their homogeneous groups, thereby again limiting their exposure to a wider range of students who are there on the campus. Now, what really does this mean? Again, you're losing out an opportunity to connect with more people. So, more people on the campus does not really mean that you're connecting with more people. You again are limiting yourself to the small homogeneous group of people who talk like you, have the same interests as you have. Now, even think of some of these social media platforms. When you sign up on a social media platform, you actually talk about your interests, the kind of person you are. You, let's say, follow sports, or you follow current affairs, you follow science, you follow mathematics, you follow technology. You actually you actually fill out all those things when you sign up on a platform. The again idea is that the social media platform will will put you in touch with people who have the same interests as you have, and that's perfectly fine. But again, are you reaching out to a more diverse audience? What are you doing to reach out to a more diverse audience? So, in fact, I want to cover two different aspects today. So, I started off on a more generic term in terms of, are you really connecting to more people? I gave you the example of one of my recent offsites, which I did for an organization, wherein we went out and we were having lunch. So, and I again, when I gave you the second example of the Republic Day celebrations, 26th January. So that was a more generic start, wherein I just gave you an example of, are you really making an effort to connect to more people? And the second aspect of my talk was, are you making, so once you started making an effort, are you getting across to people from more diverse backgrounds? I read this research by this professor, Angela Vance, in the University of Kansas, which I just shared with you. So are you just checking around in your homogeneous groups, or are you making an effort? क्या आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो आपकी पसंद से अलग लोग हैं, पसंद मतलब जो आप जिन चीज़ों में रुचि रखते हैं उससे अलग कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जो रुचि रखते हैं, क्या आप उनसे कनेक्ट करने के लिए कुछ प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि नहीं? तो इसलिए आज मैं इन दो अलग अलग टॉपिक्स पे आपसे डिस्कस करना चाहता था। दोनों सेम थ्रेड से हैं, पर फिर भी पहली बात, आप ज़्यादा लोगों से कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं? अगर कर रहे हैं, बहुत बढ़िया। तो क्या आप डाइवर्स बैकग्राउंड के लोगों से आप कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं? Yeah, so ultimately, again, we all live in a networked world. So we are really blessed to be in this in this world at this point of time. Yeah, we connected with so many people around the world. We're doing very well virtually. Let me tell you, we all are doing very well virtually. It's time to get real, more real. Time to connect to some people in person, real people in person. Start connecting with more people, and then start connecting with more people with diverse backgrounds. That's all what I wanted to share with you. Any questions? I saw couple of messages. Akash, uh, thank you for being there. So that's all from my side today. Any questions? If you have any quick comments, I can really answer. I can really easy class. Hi sir, how are you? I'm absolutely great. I'm absolutely great. I hope you enjoyed some part of the talk, and you will make an effort to connect with more people, and to connect with more people in terms of diversity, in terms of reaching out to more people outside your comfort zone, outside your inner circle. So thank you. That's all for today. Thanks a lot.